morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everybody listening and tuning in. Welcome to Solar Conscious Collective. I have a very interesting character in studio, Mr. Funamava. Welcome. How are you, sir?
Thank you very much. I'm good.
Good. You've been in and out of hospital, not only for yourself, but ended up taking your son in this morning. That must have been fun.
Yeah, I had a good start. From
Lovely.
Christmas, I've been sort of battling with a back injury, and then the back injury, believe it or not, caused a pain in my chest. It felt like a flipping heart attack. So
Bloody hell.
I didn't know this.
Never pleasant.
So yeah, I ended up in hospital for a couple of days, and then as I get out the hospital, my auntie gets sick, so I had to take him back to hospital. So yeah, lovely start to 2024, but at least I think I've seen the worst.
Yeah, hopefully. We had an interesting start to 2024. We lost 2 dogs in 2 days.
Sure.
Our lady who works in the house, she advised us her husband had passed away.
Crumbs.
Yeah, just the fucking random sequence of events, you know what I mean? So what was your reflection on 2023?
How was that? Did you get that?
What, the cough?
No, this one. It wasn't my best year.
Is that a good summary for 2023?
Yeah, I'm glad it's over.
In South Africa, we use a classic word. It's called kak.
Yeah, it was a
K-A-K, kak.
But I'm concerned because things are going a bit hectic at the moment. Have you been watching the news?
In respect of what? In terms of the conflict?
So we have, I don't know how to put this, but South Africa seems to have the same sort of political problems as what, in a weird way, not exactly the same, as what the US is having.
Well, put it this way. One thing that's become incredibly clear to me recently is that we are dealing with a broad economic slowdown.
Yeah.
You know, we always think it's isolated and in Africa we're experiencing it, but in America, Britain, and everybody I speak to actually globally, everybody's struggling.
Yeah.
I mean, Argentina's a bloody mess. Half the European countries are bankrupt. Everybody's GDP is spiraling. You know, we're dealing with the post-COVID recovery nonsense. You know, they're implementing taxes in Australia, in the pharmaceutical industry to recover that type of nonsense. My fear at the moment is that at what point does corporate greed and corporate rights stop trumping the rights of their employees? That's my question. Honestly, COVID to me was a bit of a social test, and that social test tested the water and how much power corporate, political, socioeconomic complex can enforce on the individual willingly,
and how much shit we're willing to take.
Yes, absolutely. You know what I mean? How many of our privileges are we allowed to lose before we start asking interesting questions?
And
now,
how willing are we to stick foreign stuff in our bodies to please the government?
well, yeah. I mean, you know, it's unbelievable, and that's it. That's a really interesting like social phenomenon. You literally had the anti-vaxxer reinvented historically, because anti-vaccine, you know, I'm not anti-vaccine. I'm really not anti-vaccine. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, people were literally sitting there going, hang on a second, this is too quick.
Yeah.
There's too many questions. And I don't, you know, a lot of people, the conspiracy theories are real, and I don't necessarily think that there's truth or misinformation. Yeah, who the hell knows, right? In the beginning, they used to say it was made in China, and now they kind of agree. Now they don't disagree. Who gives a damn? I think it was a real virus. I know some guys in the medical field, and it was a real virus. It was really killing people.
For sure.
Italy was an absolute shit show. But
look at what does the medical book say? What is a cold called?
Well, influenza.
And a common cold is called a coronavirus. I'm serious. That's how they define it.
Yeah,
it is a form of coronavirus.
Yes.
It is a virus. But what?
Look.
Cold
Cold is influenza. Don't forget. So that's a distinctive viral group.
Yeah.
And there have been active coronaviruses that have caused problems before. You know, when it was first released in sort of November, December, they called it the novel coronavirus until they gave it its 3,000 million variants. Either which way, that was politically hijacked and socioeconomically hijacked by the pharma industry.
Yeah.
At the government's expense. And by governments, I don't even know what that means. At actually some third-party money lending company might have functioned all of that, because at the end of the day, it ended up indebting the world by trillions of
It's
dollars.
the two big machines that run the world.
What, pharma and war?
Exactly.
Okay,
Exactly.
so what?
Think about it.
Okay, but
You
so
make the-
what?
you
So
make the-
pharma got
you make
bought
the-
after COVID, and now all of a sudden we've got Hamas,
But think about it. You're making
Ukraine.
you're making the
what?
band-aids and the bullets. Like Ice Cube said. You make the band-aids and the bullets. Can you go wrong?
And lending them the money to do both of those things at the same time.
Especially when they've got an absolute abundance of money. Money means nothing to them. It doesn't matter how much you can throw out there, because you've got so much more. It's just there's never-ending supply for these guys.
Okay, but hang on a second. But that in itself then starts posing an incredibly complex problem. Why? Okay.
Why do they do it?
No. At what point do you realize that actually the world is in control of very few highly, highly rich people that probably 98.8% of the world's population don't even know exist?
No. Yeah, it's true.
And on every level,
that's
like
what they
from
are-
an economic food point, from like every social media consumption to everything we consume is controlled by a handful of people. We know that. Okay, but how scary is
Rock
that? Well,
and-
Hunger Games. Let's look at Hunger Games.
Yeah.
Hey, honestly,
Yeah. It's
how far are we away from that? Where you've got
that
political
just
work
puts it in
camps?
a different frame of mind for you, but that's pretty much what's going on.
Well, it is, but it's hidden. They're doing it under the tables, and that's what's scary.
Well, I think technology's worked in their favor in certain ways, and it's worked against them, obviously, because with the technology that we've got now at the moment, not having mainstream media being able, because they used to be able to manipulate the media in such a way that we were blind to whatever else happened out there.
Yeah.
Whatever was said on the media was what we believed.
Well, exactly, because you've raised an interesting point, because prior to sort of 1993 internet exposure globally,
The internet changed all of that.
all of that, because you've got
And
immediate live
obviously,
information.
cameras on cell phones.
Yes, of course.
It changed all that. I mean, it's brought out this Jeffrey Epstein crap. I mean,
Oh
that-
God, have you seen they've released new case files
my
recently?
my hat. There's a bunch of sick things going on there.
No, but you see, okay, so that's a funny thing. So I have an opinion on that idea. Okay, it's really funny. No matter where you look, pedophilia seems to be associated to wealth and power.
It's
Okay.
sick. But,
Okay, it's sick. You know, that's fine. We completely accept that.
No,
but
not
why
not
does it,
always.
Why does it manifest when there's wealth involved? Why are the wealthy fascinated in children? I think I have the answer.
See, I also